everyone, we're back. Grandmaster William McDonald and
Master Jeremy Wolfgang.
hey, today we're going to be working together teaching you how to do a proper roundhouse kick. Now, our roundhouse kicks may be a little bit different from some of the other traditional disciplines. They're very similar in some of the aspects, but the applications may be taught differently. So here it is, how to do a TONG roundhouse kick.
Okay, so this is Master Wolfgang. I'm going to be demonstrating a roundhouse kick, both with the rear and the front leading leg. First, you're going to get into your guard stance here. Now, from here, the way we teach roundhouse is at 45-degree angles. Now, my front leg, because of my fighting stance, is technically already at a 45-degree angle towards 12 o'clock. However, if I'm going to use my rear leg, I will demonstrate that to about 2 o'clock from my 12. 1, 2. Okay, which is my 45-degree angle. So first I'm going to demonstrate the rear leg. I'm going to get into my guard stance. I'm going to pick up my rear leg and point the knee at 45, which is 2 o'clock. Okay, from here, that's step one. Step two is I'm going to rotate my base leg to point my toes in the opposite direction. From here, I'm then going to extend from my knee, striking with the top of the foot. Now, having said that, the top of the foot or the ball of the foot, it really depends on what you're trying to accomplish. The top of the foot is going to cover more area. It's going to be more like that hard slap, okay, with your hand. The ball of the foot is going to focus that energy into one spot, which can cause more damage into one area, okay? Now, I'm going to show you my front leg, which to me is a little bit easier because from here, you're already at that 45-degree angle towards 12 o'clock. So all you really need to do is pick up that front leg, point the knee at the target, and then rotate that rear leg again to point the opposite direction. Now see what happens with my knee. It goes from straight up to sideways, which allows me to strike across the side. Make sure that you are rotating your hips one way or the other when you're doing the roundhouse. When you do the roundhouse kick, the reason we teach at the 45-degree angles, watch my rear leg. From here, it's not that hard. Once you start going beyond that 45-degree angle, because of the rotation of the hip socket, you start to lose power unless you rotate through. Now here's a shot from the side. That front foot, already at a 45-degree angle. So from here, I lift that leg, I rotate, and snap. Here. Watch one more time. This time when I do it, I'm going to lift, rotate, and you notice that the toes on my kicking foot are pulled back so that I can strike with the ball of the foot.
All right, now since Master Wolfgang has instructed how to do a proper roundhouse kick and the angles you're supposed to be using, we're going to explain the application behind this, okay? Why we're cutting the angles at a 45-degree angle. And again, there's nothing wrong with other systems that throw a back leg roundhouse all the way to 12 o'clock, or you know, there's some of them that cut all the way straight across. The application is different. By the extreme of understanding body mechanics and the science behind the strength of the kick, we cut our angles at 45s because, again, like Master Wolfgang said, that is where maximum power extends. Beyond that, you're actually lessening your power, okay? So the application on here, and I will let Master Wolfgang apply the application while I'm teaching you. So if I could get you to square off with me right here, sir. Okay, very good. So, back leg roundhouse. We're squared off. I'm at his 12, he's at my 12. Okay? So, the idea that he wants is he never wants me to cut angles. He doesn't want me to orbit him and throwing him off. He wants to keep me lined at his 12 as much as possible. The back leg roundhouse will keep me at his 12 to the best of his abilities. So, from here, if I'm squared off, that front leg roundhouse is perfect because I'm already at his 45 from the center line. The center line of his body, there's their 45-degree angle, okay? Once he turns his body, that 45 is adjusted differently from a different angle. So if he was to do a front leg roundhouse, I'm perfect for that front leg roundhouse because I'm at his 12 o'clock. Technically, from his center line of his body, that's the 45-degree angle with that front leg. Okay, so if I'm right here, all he has to do is just throw that front leg roundhouse. Either, doesn't matter. He wants to go low, he wants to go high, boom, does not matter, okay? It's still going to be very effective. The back leg roundhouse is this, and we're going to explain the strength and weakness to doing different back leg roundhouses, okay? The way we teach it is at the 45. I'm not there yet, but I'm trying to rotate. In a real fighter, in a real street fight, I'm not just going to stand there, he's not just going to stand there, and we're just welling from where we are, okay? We don't do that. So what happens, if you look, we're always in motion right here. So if he's in a stagnant position, and I try to cut towards his front angle, trying to rotate this way to kick, he wants to kick me back to his 12. So as soon as he sees me coming this way, he stops me. And I'm going to have all of that maximum force piled into my ribs, my face, whatever open target he sees, even my leg. It doesn't, if he wants to throw a leg kick, boom, it's going to be really, really painful because that's the maximum power. When if we justify the maximum power on showing the deliverance on the technique, when we break boards, you will see some instructors or black belts, they'll throw a back leg roundhouse to 12 o'clock, and we're holding it right here, and they might hold maybe like 3-4 boards, and they do a really great job, still effective. When we do our back leg roundhouse, we can maximize that power, throwing your foot into the boards, and you can easily break 8 to 10 boards put together without spacers, just by having the proper angle. So again, I'm right here, that front leg roundhouse is perfect. I want to get away from that front leg roundhouse because I know he's a kicker with the front leg. I want to cut his angle right here. He's going to throw me back in to play. And if I don't go back into play, I'm going to have the full force of that roundhouse. That's the reason why we're doing this, okay? Okay, now since you understand how we're doing our roundhouse kicks here in Tong LO, let me explain some of the differences when you're doing the back leg roundhouse, but you're going to 12 o'clock. Okay, this is the reason why it's easier to deflect, to crowd, to be more defensive against a back leg roundhouse if you understand the applications. And so Master Wolfgang, as you remember, as we said before, if I try to cut angles, he's going to intercept me just like he did before. Boom, he's going to kick me back into 12 o'clock position. I don't advise a back leg roundhouse to 12. Front leg is good. Back leg, I don't advise it. Can it be thrown? Yes. Is it effective? Only if it hits the target. So, if you watch on your end, when he throws a back leg roundhouse, what does he have to do? He has to move his entire torso. Okay? What is that telling me? If I understand how to pick up any kind of movements that he's telegraphing, and I can respond to it, I'm going to be better off. Watch this. See how he's going to come all the way across. He's going to have to load his knee, which is correct, to his target before he throws the kick, and he hits the target. Now, if I just stand there, that's perfect. He's got it down, okay? And it can be very effective. It's not going to be as effective as the 45, but it's still going to hurt. If a person knows how to actually work angles and how to defend against a good roundhouse, as soon as I pick up the motion that his back leg and his shoulder is moving, that's when I respond. I can either A, step out of range, which I just did, B, move towards his front side at my 2 o'clock, and then he's open for my attack if I counter, or C, I go straight into it. Just like this. He got his leg up, but I'm watching his shoulder, and when he moves, I move. Okay? When he moves, go and kick, I move. When he moves, go ahead and kick, I move. When he moves, I'm watching that chest, boom, I move straight in and I can jam him. Okay? So there's the reason why I don't recommend back leg roundhouses. Okay? Not as effective. They still hurt, but not as effective, especially if you're against somebody that understands good body mechanics and how to pick up the someone telegraphing their movements. Okay? Okay. The last thing we're going to be teaching is the actually application that you're going to see the impact of this roundhouse kick. Mr. Rushing is going to be holding our pad, so you can not only see the application, you might actually hear and feel through the visual the application of a back leg roundhouse at its proper angle, our 45s, 10 or 2 o'clock. So remember, if I'm squared off with Master Wolfgang, I'm at his 12, he's at my 12. In order for him to use that back leg roundhouse properly, I got to shift over to 2 o'clock. That's where, in all reality, Mr. Rushing is holding the pad where I would assume to be right here, and he's going to strike at that 45-degree angle, at about 2 o'clock angle, okay? So I'm going to show you how it's done. All right, Master Wolfgang will show you how it's done. So just observe. Remember, we're squared off here. This is the actual center point, position 1. Position 2 is actually right there, okay? So Master Wolfgang, why don't you take it away and kind of instruct from there.
So from here, if my opponent is here and he moves to my 45, that is where I'm going to strike. So my knee comes up, I rotate with the base leg, and strike with the extension. Now, as we were explaining before, if that's my 12 o'clock, notice the difference. Now listen to the impact at a 45. Okay? That's the difference. Also, make sure whenever you do your kicks that you are breathing out and using your voice.
All right, everyone, that's the gist of how to actually do our roundhouse, both from the front leg and the back leg, okay? So I hope that this kind of lightens up everybody's knowledge a little bit more, explains the application, how to do this, and why we're doing it the way we do it. That's our roundhouse. Until next time.
Hey, Master Wolfgang here. Just letting you know, like, subscribe, and share both to the video, the channel. Hitting the like button helps us. Hitting the subscribe button will help you to know whenever we post new videos. And sharing it will allow you to share this content with somebody else that you think it might help.
Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure to click on the subscribe button on the YouTube channel for more videos like this. And if you have any questions about our programs, please go to tonglo.com and click on Contact Us.